Is WWE Network worth your money in 2020? You're about to find out. Fred Richani, TSC News, your home for sports news updates, app reviews, and everything in between. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Of course, we have a worldwide pandemic. There's a lot going on, and let's keep it real. In the year 2020, WWE may not be running a lot of first-run shows for quite a while. So, as we do every year, we're going to take a look at the worth of WWE Network and find out if it's worth it for you, especially with these trying economic times. Now, keep in mind, while WWE may not be running as many live shows this year because of everything going on, they still have a massive, vast archive of matches dating back to the freaking 60s. So let's dive in. First things first, you might be wondering, what the hell is WWE Network? WWE Network is the live streaming and video on-demand service for WWE. Think of it as like a traditional channel. So if you have a cable or satellite provider and you had a WWE channel, a quote WWE Network, that's essentially what the network is, only available online. The nice thing with WWE is that the app is available on Roku, on Apple TV, on Amazon, pretty much any kind of device other than maybe a Nintendo Switch, but you can get on Xbox One, PS4, you name it, you can find it. And of course, you can watch online on WWEnetwork.com. When you sign up, more often than not, as at the time I'm recording this is still the case, you get your first month free, and then from there, it's $9.99 or $10 rounded up per month in the US. And here's what you get. Now, first things first, when you hop on, you'll see they'll have their featured programming right here, where you can add something to your list. So, for example, say I want to add Kurt Angle versus HBK WWE Untold to my list. I can do that. So, boom, I can either add the full episode or I can add the entire series. So, you know what? At the time, I'm going to add the entire series. I'm going to click save. Bam, it's there. So, they show you what's trending now as in things they want you to watch. So, right now, you got WWE Chronicle, which chronicles Drew McIntyre. The Best of WWE, Randy Orton's best WrestleMania matches. WWE Untold, Undertaker. A lot of WrestleMania-themed stuff because, of course, at the time I'm recording this and reviewing this, it is WrestleMania 36 time. You'll see Elimination Chamber there. WrestleMania 34. The Best of WWE, so on and so forth. NXT UK, some recent episodes of Raw and SmackDown, Broken Skull Sessions with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then you have the recently added section right here. Now, keep in mind, this app will slightly vary in terms of look and feel depending on the platform you're using. It's kind of annoying. It's not as uniform as some other apps, whereas if you go on like Netflix or Hulu, it's pretty similar from phone to the computer. They have the featured programming here, which is every WrestleMania, so you could literally go back to the original WrestleMania. And here's the nice thing in terms of current programming, you can watch all the current pay-per-views live per month on the network. Now again, with everything going on with the coronavirus, we don't know how many pay-per-views are actually going to be airing in WWE in real time. Typically, when things are somewhat normal, WWE once a month airs a live pay-per-view, at least one live pay-per-view, and once every quarter, they air an NXT TakeOver and an NXT UK TakeOver, which are essentially NXT pay-per-views, and those are usually, more often than not, pretty freaking awesome. Main roster pay-per-views, they're a bit of a mixed bag. But what else do you get with the network as far as first-run programming? Well, you do get 205 Live, which is the Cruiserweight exclusive show. You get full Raw and SmackDown videos 1 month after airing due to TV contracts. You get airings of WWE NXT every week the day after it airs on USA Network. They used to originate on WWE Network. Now they air first run on USA. And you get NXT UK each and every single week as well, plus a number of featured series. So Ruthless Aggression, which is an awesome mini-series on the early mid-2000s of WWE. WrestleMania Rewind, where you can look back at all the great WrestleMania moments. You have the Monday Night War, if you like revisionist history of WWE versus WCW. WWE Top 10, which is exactly what it sounds, Top 10s. The Bump, which is another weekly show, although keep in mind that also airs on Twitter and Twitch as well, which is kind of like a daytime interview-style talk show. Replays of Total Divas, which originated on E! Ms. and Mrs., which also airs on USA. Table for Three, which is kind of like a informal talk show-style format where three superstars or three figures from wrestling sit down, have dinner, and just shoot the breeze. WWE Ride Along, They have a camera in the car as superstars are traveling from town to town. Network Pick of the Week, where WWE superstars pick their favorite matches. List This, which is a number of lists. But wait, there's more. There's not just archives of NXT all the way back to 2012. That's right. Actually, not even 2012, back to 2010, the original NXT, when it was a glorified game show. Not only do they have all of that, but you also get the archives of all the libraries that WWE owns, and that doesn't just include their own. That includes WCW and WCW Monday Nitro, each and every single episode, WWE Saturday Night's Main Event, ECW Hardcore TV, WWE Superstars, Old School WWE Broadcasts, WCW Saturday Night, Primetime Wrestling, and then the pay-per-view archive, which is vast. You get every single pay-per-view WWE, WCW, and ECW have ever produced. Now, granted, there might be one or two shows missing from there, including that North Korea show from back in the day with WCW, but I'd say 98% of the pay-per-views that have ever existed live on the networks. You got King of the Ring, you got all the Starcades, you also have some shows you may have forgotten about like Velocity, Sunday Night Heat, World Class Championship Wrestling episodes with the Von Erichs, AWA, American Wrestling Association, Mid-South Wrestling. You also get classic home videos, Untold Stories. You get WWE 24, which is an awesome docu-series as well. I'll say this, if there's one thing WWE Network does well, and WWE in general does well, it is their documentaries, whether it's about FCW, the mid-2000s, the Attitude Era, whatever. They have fantastic documentaries, and I would recommend the documentaries alone. I mean, really good stuff here. They have Where Are They Now?, Mean Gene Okerlund, The Iconics, The World's Strongest Man, Mark Henry, Nigel McGuinness. They even have documentaries that include footage from Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor, Diamond Dallas Page, Scott Hall, Eric Bischoff, the Dudleys, Sting, the NWO, Finn Balor. Really, really good stuff here. In-depth interviews. Now, it would probably take me about a year or so to go through each and every single piece of content on this network, maybe a lot more. But here's the deal. So if you go to the WWE pay-per-view section, this gives you pretty much every single WWE pay-per-view going back to the 80s. So say I'm in the mood for 2002. I got Armageddon right here, Survivor Series. You even got the UK pay-per-views like Rebellion, No Mercy, SummerSlam, Vengeance. You could pretty much binge every single WWE pay-per-view in history, although I'd recommend you do that at your own risk. If you go to NXT, they give you all the NXT episodes here, and they also give you all the NXT takeovers filtered. I got to say this, the navigation is 100 times better than it was when the WWE Network first launched. So for anybody that's been day one, I feel your pain. As far as in-ring goes, Hidden Gems, 205 Live, WWE Main Event, which, believe it or not, does still air on Hulu and in international markets. When Worlds Collide, which are fused shows with NXT, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and UK Superstars. Old School Primetime Wrestling. And then you have the likes of Old School Wrestling. WCW Thunder. If you go down, you can go to WCW right here, and you have it filtered by pay-per-views. The Monday Night War docuseries every Monday Nitro, Thunder, Saturday Night, the original World Championship Wrestling under the NWA banner, Clash of Champions. And then with ECW, you get ECW pay-per-views, ECW Hardcore TV, ECW Wrestling. This is the old ECW, by the way. ECW Super Shows, and then WWE ECW, which you should also watch at your own risk, although they did have a couple of hidden gems there. And then you have the territories, AWA All-Star Wrestling, AWA Superstars, ESPN Championship Wrestling, Mid-South Wrestling, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, WCCW, Power Pro Wrestling, Mid-Atlantic, Southpaw, which is more of a parody, but still, and Global Wrestling Federation, not to be confused with the obscure Global Force Wrestling. You even have comedies like the Edge and Christian Show, Camp WWE, which is a dollar store South Park, WWE Storytime, the Mick Foley Holy Foley series, Swerved, Walk with Elias, a documentary, Legends House, Slam City, Tuesday Night Titans, which was a late-night talk show hosted by none other than Vince McMahon, and much more. Now you get an absolute metric, big show-sized ton of WWE content on the WWE Network, but is it for you during this global pandemic, this recession, this craziness that we have going on here? Well, that's up to you. If you're a hardcore wrestling fan and you love wrestling history and you need a welcome distraction, WWE Network is likely for you. If you're somebody that enjoys more of the modern stuff and you still have cable or satellite, perhaps you want to stick with that and have the network on the back burner for the time being, maybe sign up down the road when they get back to running live shows again. Or you could do this, and I recommend everybody doing this. Just sign up for free for the month. Try it out. See if you like it. You can always cancel. Maybe you'll re-up it. And who knows, maybe Vince McMahon will concoct some crazy plan to find a way to keep WWE going in these trying times. Either way, I got to give the content on WWE Network a damn near perfect 10. Could it be a little bit better in terms of navigation as far as platform to platform? Could they maybe do a little bit more as far as giving you more original content on the network as far as first run stuff? Because let's keep it real here. Not everybody's watching 205 Live in NXT UK. Sure, they could possibly do that. But for the time being, this is still one hell of a deal. And while there are rumors running rampant that maybe WWE will eventually sell its pay-per-views again for $59.99 and sell them to ESPN Plus or DAZN or whatever. Listen, until that actually happens, I'm keeping my network subscription. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about WWE Network? Does this convince you to buy it? Does this convince you to leave it? Let me know. Leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this review, like, share, take care. Don't forget to subscribe, and please enable notifications for more updates like this. And until next time, as always, enjoy the matches.